What if I told you that missing this one thing could be draining $100,000 from your e-commerce business every year without you even realizing it? Most struggling stores make this huge error, while top-selling ones use a simple strategy to keep customers coming back and maximize their profits. I made this mistake myself, but once I fixed it, I started making 40% more without spending an extra dime on ads. In this video, I'll reveal what this mistake is and, more importantly, how we can avoid it to stop leaving money on the table. The first thing you'll need to do is to convert people who almost bought into customers. This will make a huge difference to your sales. Imagine that your website is a salesman. The good ones always aim to strike up a conversation with customers, trying to find out what the customer needs, whereas the bad ones just stare at their phone. You want to train your website to follow up with customers once they view the product or add something to their basket. Don't just let them leave without saying anything. But how do you do that? The answer is you can use email automation software and define flows for various events that happen on your website. Doing that will keep your store top of mind for the customer, make them come back and complete the purchase. The most common trigger events are product viewed, product added to the basket, or checkout started. You can either send your customers a single reminder or multiple reminders after each of these events. The reason for that is to remind them that you exist and the product is still available should they wish to purchase it. This is especially important for customers who have visited the website for the first time, as it will allow you to make them familiar with your brand. Implemented correctly, this can raise your revenue by about 15% each and every month. You might be wondering what software is best for that purpose. I personally use Klaviyo in my store and find it really easy to use, although it's a bit expensive. Implementing these flows is only scratching the surface of the potential of this technology. Next, I'll show you how we can supercharge these results. Imagine you've been meaning to fix your bike for a few months now, but you've never gotten around to it. You would need to buy some spare parts, and in general it just seems like a hassle, so you've been putting it off. There you are, just relaxing at the end of a busy day, looking at your phone, and boom, the sale notification comes in from your favorite bike store. The sale ends tomorrow, and it's a really good deal, 30% off. So you decide to buy the parts you need and also look at some additional accessories, just because it's a good deal. That's the reaction we want to create in our customers. But how do you do that? The answer might seem obvious, but if you check your email, you'll quickly find that we're not discovering anything new here. All the successful online stores send out newsletters and sale notifications with good reason. It just works. The key here is to send them out regularly and at the time where the customer is most likely to be active. After all, it's no good sending it out if the customer is likely to be sleeping or traveling or at work. You want your newsletters to always be timely, contain a good offer, and a good reason to buy now. A common hack is to send them out around payday towards the end of the month. I also send a reminder a few days later, plus another campaign in the middle of the month to even out the sales. This is the minimum implementation of email marketing. If your products are a bit tricky to use or customers might need some more knowledge about how to use them best, you could also leverage that and send educational emails to your customers. This sort of mix and match educational emails with promotional emails will build up a goodwill with your customers. After all, just repeating the same message over and over again can get old really quickly. If you set your email marketing campaigns correctly, this can bring in about 20% of your store's entire revenue. These additional sales are almost free. All you need to do is to remind your customers, but you exist. But that's not all, it gets even better. This brings us to our final tip on how we can make the most of email marketing. Most stores only succeed in capturing emails for a low percentage of visitors. Raising that number by even a seemingly small percentage can yield huge results. If you can get the email capture rate from 5% to 7%, it's not just a 2% increase, it's actually a 40% increase. Sounds exciting? I'll show you how you can do that next. When it comes to capturing email addresses, there are some obvious and less obvious strategies. The most common one is to add the checkbox at the checkout, where people can opt in into the newsletter. The second most common one is adding a newsletter sign-up link to the footer of your website. However, these don't always work well, and you need to nudge customers into giving you their email address. For that, you can use a pop-up or a slide-out. But what do you say in that pop-up? That's where it gets interesting. You can say any of these things. Please enter your email address and we'll send you a discount code. The discount code can either be a percentage of purchase or a monetary value. I find that the discount being displayed with a currency symbol tends to work better. You can also gamify your site by showing a prize draw that draws when you click a button. If the customer wants to see what they've won, they have to enter the email address. The appropriate prize and code will get emailed to them automatically. With this one, however, you might want to experiment, as it works better on some sites than others. Email marketing is only a part of successful stores' marketing strategy. Implementing it well will markedly increase your gross margin per customer, which will enable you to reinvest much more aggressively into customer acquisition. If you want to find out how to do this successfully, watch this next video.